Hi, I'm KT, and this is Simple Living with KT, the place where we talk about the issues facing our lives in a simple and mindful way. I am very excited for today's video. I even created a group on Facebook with the name Live Frugal, Feel Rich, because I think there are a lot of extremes that are being pushed on us as people who consume media and advertising, where it's either you need to be living the most frugal, bare bones kind of life, like ramen every day, or you need to be living a fulfilled life of excess, which is buying something the second you want it and, going on vacation every single weekend. When it comes to finances, I do believe that there is a happy, healthy medium that we can partake in and live happy, fulfilled lives. And that is really the entire vibe of Live Frugal, Feel Rich. So I would love to take you down this path of what I think it means to live frugal, feel rich in my own life. Do you know what live frugal, living within your means, self-care, and treating yourself all have in common? The definition of each of those change a little bit depending on who you speak to. I'm going to take some time to define some of these, and I believe the way I define them helps me cultivate balance in my own life and helps me find that seemingly impossible place between living frugal and feeling rich. Watch this video with an open mind, especially if you're someone who sees living frugal as if you can't also live a full life at the same time. It starts by understanding the role that frugality plays in my own life. One extreme is only buying the cheapest items or services at all costs, like overall quality or comfort. The other extreme is finding any excuse to justify a purchase if you can reason some sort of cost saving. I try to stay clear of both extremes. When my husband and I moved from Florida to New Mexico, we sold our large furniture items. No couch, no dining room chairs, no bed. That of course means we'd need to buy those things in New Mexico. My husband got a relocation package at work that would cover those costs, but the deal was we wouldn't get that money until the first paycheck. So we had to make upfront cost as affordable as possible. If we got that money up front, I'm sure my husband would have opted for a moving company or buying furniture as soon as we moved in. Living frugal can come from circumstances like in that situation or belief. And this situation gave us a mix of both. We had a foam mattress before when we were in Florida, but we wanted to try the purple mattress. We had savings, but we didn't want to deplete them when we had just moved. So what was the next best thing in our situation? We slept on an air mattress for a few weeks, but now we have a new adjustable bed frame and awesome purple mattress that we will enjoy for years to come. I don't expect everyone to make those types of choices or sacrifices, but at that time, it worked perfectly for us and was worth it. We were able to maintain our savings for the short term in case of an emergency, and we didn't have to compromise on the quality of our mattress by getting something that costs less that we may not have been happy with. Next, let's talk about living within our means. I think the easy access to credit in the US and really across the globe inflates the perception of what living within your means actually means. While credit cards can be a tool for earning bonus points that can be redeemed for travel, I'm not gonna sit on my YouTube channel and act like that is what the majority of people are doing. 1 out of 3 Americans go into debt just for the holidays, and many of those are still carrying balances from previous years. Then if we look at the bigger, more general picture, more Americans have credit card debt averaging $5,000. Things like wages that don't keep up with inflation, predatory student loan practices, and hospital bills definitely do not help the situation. I'm aware of these systemic issues, but there is more than one way to skin a cat, as they say, and those issues only exacerbate other phenomena like lifestyle creep, installment payments, never-ending car loans, and generally creating a lifestyle where you feel like you always have to play catch-up. I remember I was in college having a conversation with a friend, and she said, "Doesn't everyone live paycheck to paycheck?" Her point wasn't that everyone was broke, but rather that no one can just skip a paycheck, that we are working to have that paycheck because we need it to pay bills. At that time in my life, I didn't get the concept of an emergency fund or planning for retirement. I also didn't think twice about car loans or leases or student loans for that matter. The way those things worked out in my mind was that if I could afford the monthly payment, that I could afford to hold that kind of debt. But when does it end? For my husband and I, it ended when we figured out what our budget would look like without debt payments. And when we got that extra money coming in, we had to look into what we could be doing with it. And it also got us looking into different paths to FIRE or financial independence, retire early. We may not be in a place where we can totally abandon traditional work, but when my husband and I took turns basically quitting our jobs that were taking too much out of our lives than we were getting back, we were still able to live full, happy, and intentional lives when at times there was no income. I also give credit to our flexibility and willingness to adjust during those times. If we had a lot of debt payments, we might be willing to cut back, but there's only so much you can do when the credit card payment is due. The debt makes you inflexible and not able to adapt as quickly if you were not able to quickly increase your income. It's just something to think about. I want my life to be like water. It flows and is resilient. Something I noticed while making adjustments in my life, if I look to outside influences, self-care looks like getting my nails done, having a facial, buying new clothes, and taking a trip someplace. There is nothing wrong with spending money on things you enjoy doing. Where I find the conflict in my life was that I was feeling empty, like I was missing something. The emptiness came from if I wasn't able to do one of those self-care items in a given month, then I felt like I was actually missing something. Part of the issue was definitely needing to make more money. The other part of the issue, which is really what my channel focuses on, is the inner work between tying emotions to stuff and things and comparing yourself to social media. Money in and of itself already has strong emotions attached to it. Then when you start attaching more things to it, like belonging and feeling cared for, it will only affect you harder if you need to be more flexible. And I am using flexible here to mean that your circumstances have changed. Maybe your income has stayed the same, but there's unexpected bills. Do you work extra hours? Maybe hours are not available at your job and it's taken a little bit more time to find something you could do temporarily on the weekend. So if you have those extra bills, what are the other options? And many times that would include cutting out things like self-care. But I'm not against self-care, and I'm also not against getting your nails done because it looks nice and you like the way it makes you feel. All of those are valid. You can give yourself flexibility and honestly grace by understanding that just because things have always been a certain way, now that maybe money is tight, it doesn't mean that you are failing. It doesn't mean that you've made a ton of wrong choices. I know I have, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is for you. It just means you need to find another way through this time, and that could be temporary. And you can find other joys in your life that don't cost money. I am very thankful that in New Mexico, there are a lot of just hiking trails and mountains and hills that you can climb and hike around and see and explore, and it's breathtaking. And also, it's, for me, nice to be away from the city. That's one why we bought a house outside of the city, but now also just going up a little hike and listening to, honestly, the silence that is out there is very relaxing. And you may find that while taking advantage of these free self-care items, that you enjoy them, and they might give you other benefits as well, like relaxation, added peace, and if you're exercising, maybe that will help your sleep, and maybe that will reduce your stress, because exercise definitely does that. And something I also think it's important to note that you don't have to be a minimalist to start living frugally. I am not a minimalist by any means. I am a get things done simply and with intentionality type of person. Saying live within your means is not code for getting rid of everything and doing nothing. It is to encourage you to look at your situation and see where you can find the balance. Has your budget been tight and your car lease is coming to an end? Maybe it's time to cut ties with the lease. Or are you realizing that fast food is taking over your budget? Maybe it's time to get a simple grocery shopping routine and pair that with a meal plan to help free up money in your budget. Do you feel less than if you're not constantly able to make little purchases of things that, if you're honest, you know you don't need? Maybe it's time to look inward to see what you're trying to fill with stuff. I hope these questions can help you toward a productive path to finding your balance. And also, treating yourself can be part of a frugal, simple, and mindful life. I think some of the things I consider myself for treats may also be part of self-care. For example, massages. I love them and want to do them regularly, but I also purposely find free ways to treat myself. That includes going to a national park and looking at the beautiful views. Here's some photos of the White Sands National Park in New Mexico. Technically, you do have to pay to access this, about $20 per car, and you can spend the whole day there, meandering around the sites and just having fun. So that's what I wanted to share today. Thank you so much for watching. I certainly enjoy making these types of videos, and so I hope you enjoy watching them as well. Definitely take some time to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like how I think about money and our lives. I believe it's a simple and mindful approach, but I would certainly love to hear from you in the comment section down below. You should also check out my free 5-day Mind and Money series in the description below. It's a series of posts and videos that will be delivered to your email daily to help get your mindset in line with your money goals. Whether that be saving up for a big purchase like a house or paying off debt, getting your mindset fueled up to reach those goals will be a game changer. Thanks again for watching, and as always, remember to make the decisions that support the life you want. Bye for now.